Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. I hope you guys are keeping well. I hope everything's good. Smash the like button, guys. Smash the like button on this video. Share the video. Guys, I wanted to have a chat with you guys. Guys, as you know, yesterday I put up a video about Canelo and Andre Ward. And I said Canelo could have been beaten Andre Ward. And I didn't even say, if you watch the content of the video, I didn't even say that I think Ward, I even said I think Ward would have been a favorite in the fight. I put the video up on Facebook and stuff. And the amount of abuse I got, you know, people calling me racist and all sorts. Oh, is it like, are you picking against Ward, this, that, and the other because of his, like, I was like, wow. And you know what? I've seen Steven get the same kind of hate, but obviously from a Mexican crowd, because they think that, he hates Canelo when he doesn't. And I got the same kind of hate yesterday because people thought I was being against Ward. I was like, you know what? Boxing is about opinions. Like, I never even said that he would definitely beat Ward. I think Ward would probably be a favorite in the fight, but I think Canelo would be a dangerous fight for Andre Ward. It wouldn't be an easy fight. Some people take things so personally and they come out and they don't realize that they're actually saying things that are offensive themselves. You know, and I don't really like talking about this stuff because I like to keep it to boxing. As you guys know, I love my boxing. I just want to keep it about boxing. But the way I got, attacked on Facebook was unbelievable. I wasn't expecting that kind of response. And it's sad, really, because people aren't even allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to have an opinion. I like Andre Ward. I think he's a great fighter. I think he achieved a lot in the game. I was just giving you my honest opinion that I don't think it would be an easy fight for him and Canelo would be a tough fight. I feel like we keep going round in circles. You know, I've argued with a lot of these people saying that, you know, they're saying that Canelo's ducking Andrade and Charlo, and the fact that Canelo's not fighting anybody and he's picking and choosing his fights. And people comment on my videos as well. Some people you'll see that actually think that as well. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you don't think Canelo's a hard fight for Andre Ward and Ward would destroy Canelo easily and Canelo wouldn't even put up a fight against Ward. But yeah, on the other hand, you're saying that he's ducking Charlo and Andrade, who's beat nobody. And I'm sorry to say that I feel like some of the American audience completely dismiss fighters in the UK. Like, Andrade and Charlo are no better than Callum Smith and Billy Joe. Honestly, they've not done anything in the game more than those guys. And Andrade's beat nobody, right? I would say Billy Joe's got a better resume. Then listen, I picked Andrade to beat Billy Joe if they were to fight. I picked Andrade to beat Billy Joe, and I stick by that. I think Andrade would have beaten Billy Joe. But the point is, what has Andrade done in the game which makes him far superior to Billy Joe? The eye test, what is that what we're going off? What about the resume? Like, sometimes you do get a great fighter like Jaron Ennis, and maybe I'm bigging him up. The eye test sometimes doesn't always say everything. You know, you got to see him in there with a tough opponent. But listen, I know Andrade can fight, but the point I'm trying to make is, like, for me, Andrade and Charlo are no better than Billy Joe, Caleb Plant, and they've not separated themselves from these type of guys. And Canelo don't need them, to be honest. Like, they're at another weight class. It's really irritating for me that I have to bring these points up, but I was just, I don't know, yesterday, man, I normally don't really respond. When I put my videos up on Facebook, I don't normally respond to comments and stuff. But yesterday, some of the comments that were being made were just like, they angered you. They angered me. So I had to respond. You know, and as you guys know, I was one that actually spoke well of Charlo. I thought Charlo had a great energy. It's just that, you know, the competition has been very poor and he's not been fighting anybody. The thing is, I feel like Canelo's getting criticism for fighting the champions, but these guys aren't fighting anybody and they don't get any criticism. You know, and listen, Andrade's been trying. He's been trying. But now, there's rumours of him moving up to 168, but he's got a tough mandatory, and there's rumours of him moving up to 168. So you could say that's avoiding as well. You know, because a lot of people think that Janabek is a tough fight for him. So the point I'm trying to make here is, I feel like sometimes people take people's opinions and try to blow it out of proportion. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's just an opinion. You know, if you think Andre Ward beats Canelo, that's your opinion. If someone thinks Canelo beats Andre Ward, yeah, of course there's going to be biases from people. They're going to favor their own guy, you know, from their background. That happens in boxing. That's part and parcel of boxing. But then to start, you know, accusing people of this, that, and the other, it's just nonsense. You know what I mean? For giving an opinion. And I didn't even, if you watch that video, I didn't even say Canelo beats Andre Ward. I said it's a good competitive fight, right? And I think people are sleeping on Canelo in that fight. I think he would be a dangerous fight, but you'd have to favor Ward at this point. But if Canelo goes on to become undisputed at 175, I will no longer be favoring Andre Ward. And I know styles make fights, but the fact is Canelo then at the higher weight classes would have done more than Ward. Ward only really beat Andre Ward. If Canelo beats Bivol, Beterbiev and all those guys, I'm sorry to say that Canelo would have achieved more. And I remember Mike saying this, the opinion changes depending on what Canelo does in his career. Of course, because what Canelo would show then is he can deal with bigger, stronger guys if he beats those guys. So, to be honest with you, I was very disappointed, like, you know, with the reaction online. But I guess that's just the way people are, and something that you have to get used to on social media. But anyway, Canelo in a video recently I saw, you know, he completely dismissed, you know, the chance of fighting Andrade. I really want Canelo to fight Andrade. Honestly, and I know some of you guys, I really want Canelo to fight Andrade. I really want him to fight Andrade. He doesn't seem like he has any interest, but I really want to see that fight now. Just because I know Canelo wins that fight. I know Canelo will win that fight. And I want to see the reaction of the people or the fans when Canelo beats Andrade to see what they'll say then. That's why I want to see that fight. And most importantly, put that aside, it's a great fight. It's a great fight. It's a great fight for the fans, you know, and I actually think there'll be good build-up as well because Andrade and Canelo have now got history. You know, the press conference, they've got that. You see, I think Canelo would be missing a trick if he doesn't fight Andrade. I know people will say, well, Andrade brings nothing to the table. I disagree. I think Andrade does bring something to the table now. I think there's history between these two. I think that fight would sell. I honestly think that fight would sell. I actually think it's an easy fight to make, and I think that fight would sell. And I personally think, I don't think Andrade, I think maybe for a couple of rounds might trouble Canelo. Then after that, I think Canelo takes over. I think Canelo needs to take, I think I would love to see Canelo fight that. Just because of the fact that, let's see how good Demetrius Andrade is. I really want to see him fight Demetrius Andrade. Because I don't think Canelo's not fighting him because he thinks Andrade is really tough and Andrade is slick and he's this slickster that will school Canelo. Come on, man. He's not fighting him because of that. He's fighting him because I think it's become a bit like Khan Brooks situation where he doesn't want to give Andrade a payday. He feels like that guy is trying to live off his name. He doesn't want to give him a payday. I think it's become a bit personal for Canelo. Like Canelo and Eddie Reynoso said that, you know, they're willing to fight Jamal Charlo. I'm not, listen, I don't personally think I'll be honest with you. I think Andrade's a good fighter, but I don't think he's no match for Canelo. But I want to see Canelo fight him. I want to see Canelo fight him. I want to see that fight. I want to see it. Just because, like I said, I feel like it will be upsetting for me if Canelo doesn't fight this dude, man. I would love to see him fight Andrade. Love to see him fight Andrade. It's a great fight. It's a great fight. I think the build-up would be great. I think Canelo would want to beat him and want to knock him out like he did with Saunders. Hopefully the fight happens. Hopefully the fight happens. I think Canelo has dismissed it. He said he's a horrible fighter. Again, in a video that I recently saw, he basically said he's a horrible fighter and he dismissed fighting Andrade. I want to see it. I want to see it, guys. As simple as that. I want to see that fight. I would love to see him fight. I want to see, to be honest, I want to see the Beterbiev fight more than anything. But I think if he's going to fight a Charlo or a Benavidez and Andrade, those smaller guys, I want to see him fight Andrade. I want to see him fight Andrade. I want to see how slick Andrade is and how good he is. Everyone keeps saying, his fans are saying that he's this slick guy and he's going to school Canelo and Canelo's not fighting anybody. Let's see how he matches up. Let's see whether he can do better than Billy Joe, Callum Smith. Let's see it. I don't think he does much better, personally, but that's just my opinion. Pretty sure others have other opinions. But, I'm not sure if the fight will happen. If I'm totally honest with you, I'm not sure if the fight will happen because Canelo doesn't seem interested in him. I think he just doesn't want to give Andrade that payday. He feels Andrade is looking for a payday and Canelo just doesn't like him. Look, if Canelo goes and fights Beterbiev, then, I don't think anyone can really say Canelo's ducking Andrade. If he goes and fights Beterbiev, who's a far bigger, stronger guy. Look, I've said this before. The guys that give Canelo trouble now are styles like Golovkin, not Andrade styles. I would be shocked almost if Andrade beats Canelo because I don't think he has the style anymore. I don't think that style really troubles Canelo that much anymore. Yeah, maybe to win a couple of rounds. Eventually he's gonna get you. He's gonna hunt you down and then he's gonna pack up, your legs are gonna pack up because you're hitting you to the body. He's gonna be hitting you hard with a lot of shots. And Canelo's become very educated with his feet now. His feet have become a lot better since, his early days. Honestly, guys, I really want to see the Canelo Andrade fight. I don't know I don't know why some of you guys are not interested. I really want to see it. I really want to see it. And listen, good luck to both guys. I just want to see what, the Demetrius and I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I want to see Canelo win. No. Good luck to both guys. If that fight happens, I hope the best man wins. And Andrade does have qualities. He does have skills that could cause Canelo issues. But I just want to see whether what all these fans are saying about Andrade, if that is the case. That's just my opinion. And I also think Canelo would make a good payday out of Andrade because I think they've got history. I think it's a massive fight. I do. I think now, and I think the build-up will be good because Andrade would go after Canelo in the press conferences. Andrade would, he'd talk it up and there would be a lot of hype and Canelo would go back at him. As we know, Canelo doesn't hold back. Canelo would go back at him. So it'd make it very spicy, and I think the interest by the time the fight comes around would be massive. So yeah, I would be really interested in that fight. I think it would be huge. I think it'd be another name on Canelo's resume. But I think the fight that I really want to see is Beterbiev. That's the fight that I really want to see. But I wouldn't mind Andrade if he fights like out of Benavidez, Charlo, all these Charlo and Andrade. I would prefer Andrade out of those guys. I think the fight at this, but I think the fight would probably be the most competitive out of the three. And I also think the fight at this point, I know some people say Benavidez, but I think Andrade fight, just because of the history him and Canelo have, I don't think Benavidez and Canelo is going to be fiery at the press conference. I don't. I think Benavidez, although he said a few things about Canelo, I think he respects Canelo. And I don't see, whereas I think with Andrade and Canelo, there's going to be back and forth, and that's going to make the fight bigger. And I don't really think the Canelo-Benavidez fight is that competitive. I think the Andrade fight is more competitive. You know, some people may disagree again, but, you know, that's just my opinion. You know, that if stylistically, I'd prefer that fight over the Benavidez fight, personally. And obviously the fact that I want to see how good Demetrius Andrade is. I want to see if he can, you know, back up his words and, you know, what his fans have been saying about him. That whether he is that good or not, you know. Because if he isn't that good, then he's not beating Canelo, is he? What do you guys want to see, though? What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see Canelo fight Demetrius Andrade? Or do you want to see Canelo fight at light heavyweight? What do you guys want to see Canelo do? Is it a fight that interests you? Is Canelo Andrade a fight that interests you? Or is it a fight that you don't really care about? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd love to know your opinion, guys. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.